See, that's what I was thinking when I was looking into your channel about how you went to prison and everything. I was like, this motherfucker with his British accent. Like I imagined like 2 days in, they're like, man, you better ask the professor about that. And like, so you get like little nicknames and stuff. Did that actually happen or no?
But believe me, I was playing the Harry Potter card all the way through it. I mean, you damn Yanks love your goddamn limey cousins from across the pond. And they'd be asking me if I had tea and crumpets with the Spice Girls and the Beatles and all this stuff. Yeah.
That's great.
Shaun, can you move your mic a little closer to your mouth? Just listen.
Yeah.
So why you went to prison in Arizona under Sheriff Joe?
Wasn't my brightest idea to be running an international ecstasy trafficking operation in Arizona when Sheriff Joe Arpaio had created this house of horrors, Maricopa County Jail, which, according to National Geographic Channel, who did my Locked Up Abroad episode, they said it's got the highest rate of death out of all the jails and prisons in America. And 62 people died in that jail over a 5-year period around the time I was there. And they weren't just people getting beat down and murdered by gang members. Some of them were mentally ill prisoners murdered by the guards. One guy, Brian Crenshaw, failed to produce his ID for the evening meal. Guards pulverized him, broke his neck. He went into a coma. He died over a month later from severe internal injuries. Another one, Scott Norberg, he came in. The guards started beating him, electrocuting him with tasers. A female guard tried to stop it. She said, "Stop beating him. His face has turned blue." They pushed her off. They kept beating him. The prisoner started yelling, "Why are you beating him? He's already dead." His face was blue. And they could not stop beating the corpse, even though it was like they were like a pack of wolves. They've just, like the amygdala takes over and they're just ferocious and they can't stop, animalistic.
Did you say that this was like during a meal? Everybody's trying to eat their mac and cheese and there's a dead guy getting beat to shit.
Yeah, you see all kinds of crazy stuff like that. People having, one woman, Deborah Brayard, she was a shoplifter on a short-term sentence. Her daughter was calling all morning long saying, "My mum needs her medication. She's a diabetic." Guards were like, "Tough shit." And she started to have seizures. She was pissing on herself, crapping on herself. And the guards were just walking right around her like as if nothing was happening.
Jeez. Wow. So why do you think that is about the guards? Do you think that it's a career that attracts sadistic people in part, or that they get so jaded by and this is not, I've never been to, maximum security prison, but I did watch Silence of the Lambs where maybe they just caught one eye full of cum too much and then they just stopped caring.
Clarice, tell me now.
This is our sinister genius and cum throwing wing. This is
Did you breastfeed your baby?
Yeah.
Made your nipples hard, didn't it? I would say a combination. You've got good and bad in every profession. I'm not knocking all guards. It does attract some sadistic types, and the energy in the environment is so pervasively negative. Even the guards who start out fish guards, fresh looks on their faces, trying to help people, within 6 months, their faces have turned to stone. But it's the same for the prisons as well. As soon as I went in, all completely gang controlled. Heads are getting bashed against toilets, bodies getting thrown around. I've got a look of shock on my face. Prisoners are coming up to me saying, "You got to get that look of shock off your face or else you're going to get smashed next." So within 6 months, I've got dead eyes. And once I got released, even on my driver's license picture to this day, my face just looks completely immune to it. Yeah.
We're definitely going to circle back around to your drug enterprise days because those are fascinating.